Today I'm going to be answering some of the most common questions that I get as a psychic medium. So number one is language barrier. People ask this all the time and the answer is no. First of all, a lot of what I receive is just a knowing. It's just a feeling. I can feel like a person is a certain type of way, or I feel your relationship was a certain type of way, and I don't need language or to speak the same language to understand that point. Also, a lot of what they show me is with references to movies, TV shows, songs, real life experiences that I've had in the real world. They'll show me relationships with people that I have here in the physical world as well. All of this is not dependent on language. It's more dependent on what I like to call my reference bank inside of my head. Number two, how long does it take for a soul to transition? Most of the time, people are asking this in terms of like when they can actually connect, but I'll get to that in a second. How long does it take them to transition? Again, I'm going to speak from my experience here. For the most part, the souls transition very, very quickly onto the other side. I do believe that there is a small transition period, but for the most part, this is very, very quick. I have connected with people that were literally still, their body was still technically in the funeral home and not even in the ground yet or cremated. I've also connected with people who, I'm going to use this instance, one of my husband's family members had passed. I didn't know it. He got the phone call. I was not at home. And he had come to me, this family member, probably about 15 seconds before I even received a phone call from my husband. And he told me that he passed. And then my husband called a few minutes later, or a few seconds later actually, and he said, "Hey, I just got the call that he passed." And I said, "I already know. He already showed up. I know." And so all that to say, it's a very, very quick transition process for the most part. I'm not saying that there's not any other cases out there, but that's what I see for the most part. Can I connect with babies that have either miscarried or like where the mother has miscarried or where there was a terminated pregnancy? The answer is absolutely yes. Most of the time they like to present themselves with how old they would be now. So that's also really cool to always see. They usually present as, you know, small in the womb, but then they also show themselves growing on the other side, and it's really beautiful. So yes, they do come through very frequently in readings. Can I connect with animals? Yes, the answer is yes. Most psychic mediums can connect with animals. Having said that, there are also psychic mediums out there that really specialize in that. Maybe they just love animals and they love connecting with animals, and that's really their specialty. So that's also something that is the case as well. But from, again, my experience and what I know, I'm able to connect with people and animals, living and the ones that are still here. So there's really not like a limit on that, and animals frequently come through in my readings. When is the best time to connect with your loved ones who have passed over and are now on the other side? So this is going to be different for everybody, but I will give you kind of my 2 cents on it. As I had mentioned before, the transition for souls is usually very quick. That's not usually the issue with connecting. What I would say, in my experience, the best advice I can give you is that you need to give yourself time to grieve, especially properly grieve. I totally get it, because I've been on the other side of this. Before I knew I could do this, we had a really tragic loss in our family, and I just said, I need to know that he's okay. I need to know that he's okay. Like, we immediately booked a session with a psychic medium. So I also understand that point of it as well, or that part of that as well. And my best advice would be, if you've lost somebody very close to you, wait usually at least 3 months before you do a session. Now, if you want to book with somebody and you know they're booking out, you can book it whenever you want. But I usually like to give at least a few months for time to grieve before you actually do the session, because it can be really emotional. And the most important thing to remember is that you need to take care of yourself emotionally and mentally, and it's also okay to grieve before you actually take that next step. I promise you that your loved ones will be there waiting for you. There's no time limit, there's no rush. So just make sure you take all the time you need before you actually attempt to connect. I hope that was helpful. Again, my name is Sabrina Maria. I am a psychic medium, and if you like this type of thing, give me a follow if you haven't already. I like to give lots of tips, and I do live readings and all kinds of things like that. Thank you guys so much. Bye.